Hello and welcome to the Adobe Illustrator class beginning to intermediate. My name is Alfred M. Williams and I'm going to be your instructor. We're going to try to get you up and running with Adobe Illustrator as soon as possible. So the idea with Adobe Illustrator is that it is a vector application and we're going to explore exactly what that means. So it's a different system for drawing. One of the things that we'll do is we'll learn the difference between raster and vector art, when to use which, and play to the strengths of each. And Illustrator is primarily a vector application. And so we're going to get in. First thing we're going to do is go through the tools, the interface, and there'll be certain tools that we'll use and others that we won't. And I'm going to be doing different exercises for each of the tools, even understanding how they work. And then there'll also be, of course, some exercises and assignments. Let's get started. So here we are in Adobe Illustrator and we're at the home page. And what's interesting about Adobe Illustrator is that it can be used to create all sorts of different types of artwork. So I can be creating something for print, for web, for on-screen, etc. And when I click the Create New button, it's going to offer me some ideas about how to start. So let's go through each one of these categories and start to understand the mechanics of what's happening when you're creating images online. So first things first is whenever I have a project, I have to decide what type of project am I creating. And so up here you see that there are some categories. Mobile, for instance. So what does that mean? Well, you probably have a smartphone. And on that phone there are images, and someone had to create those images, and it might be you. And so the idea here is that if I'm creating a phone, image for a phone, I can pick the dimensions for the phone in pixels. So when I'm working on screen for video or for web, I'm going to measure the document in pixels, the number of pixels across and up and down. And so I'm going to be measuring that document in pixels. I'm going to be working in the RGB color mode, and one of the upcoming exercises we'll talk about the different color modes, right? So when I create a canvas with those dimensions, my artwork should fit. Let's go to web. So once again, the idea with web is that I'm measuring my document in pixels, and I'm going to be using the RGB color mode, and I'm going to be using a resolution of 72, 75 pixels per inch or dots per inch. Whenever I'm working for web, video, or on screen, those are usually going to be my settings: pixels, RGB color, and measure the document in PPI 72 or so. Let's go to print. So now if I'm printing a document, I'm creating a professionally printed document, that's going to be a bit different. I'm going to measure the document, instead of points, what I suggest is measuring it in inches. It's a lot easier to understand, and most people that send off printed documents in the United States are going to be working in inches. And so I'll show you how to modify that later in the course. But the idea is I'm going to measure the document in inches. The document's either going to be a single page, double folded, or it's going to be paginated. And then I need to, if I'm setting up a professionally printed document, I'm going to need to set up a safe area and a bleed area. I'm going to be working in inches. I'm going to be working in CMYK color. And what I want to do is make sure that all the objects that are part of that piece of art are in CMYK color. We'll look at how to do that. And I want to work at 300 DPI. All the artwork needs to be 300 dots per inch. Let's go to film and video. So film and video, if I'm doing title screens for a film or something like that, the best thing to do is contact the editor and ask them what formatting are you using? Is it HDV? Is it HDTV? And then according to that, there will be a screen size or resolution. So standard for today is 1080p, or HDTV, which is 1920 by 1080. And if I wanted to create a canvas with that setting, I would just click on that and click create. Once again, I'm working in on screen, so it's going to be RGB mode. And I'm going to be working in 72 DPI or PPI. Let's look at the last category. So this is kind of a catch-all. They kind of made this category that does a little bit of everything. So you see there's a postcard, there's a poster, there's a 1280 by 1024, which is in points. So this is kind of a catch-all. What the idea is, an illustration can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So most of the time when we're working in class, we're going to be working at print dimensions and print resolution. So I'm going to go back to print, and I'm just going to make a standard canvas. I'm going to set this from points to inches. And for tonight, I'm just going to use the canvas, the standard canvas dimension of 8.5 by 11. I'm not going to worry about a bleed or a safe area just yet because I'm just going to be playing. And then I want the color mode to be in CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and the pixels per inch or dots per inch to be 300. I click create, and we have created our canvas, and that's going to display online, and we'll be able to start editing. So I'm going to stop there. We'll come back on the next session.